Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox. On the Xbox Series X, my survival save, and this is the next part of the survival guide. We're going to look at expanding our drilling into something more efficient. And eventually we're going to break down this pod because we don't need it anymore. First of all, though, we want to look at 4 more drills. So we can do that by popping open our build menu, left stick, using the right trigger until we get to wheels and weapons, pressing A twice until we're on drill. I'm pressing X 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And holding down the left bumper, tapping the inventory bumper button, and we will pop our stuff into production. You'll see our little system is low on materials. Now, last time we drilled down, and we drilled down, I think, just to check. We drilled, if I just extend this piston, going into reverse. It will take its time. We're also going to need a control panel as well to bring all this together, which we've got over here, control station. We could actually have done it like that, but that's going to get altered anyway. We actually took the drill down to have a look. A bit more speed on this thing. Go for meters. Yeah, and it went down further. Best thing to do here, I think, if we want to get more stone quickly, to show why I tend to build these rigs like I do. And we're well. The velocity to about, say, 0.5. It's going to do here is set our maximum distance, begin with, to about 3 meters. And their piston along. let's say try 4. That should give me enough to play a bit. Yeah, that'll do it. What we want here is actually set this back to its slower drilling so we can get as much stone as possible. Hitting A several times on our slider, we can get all this nicely. Drill on. And just drill out some stone. Neighbour's hand mining it. And we'll put the cobalt on hold for a bit. Hold down the right bumper and move it using the D-pad. Bear in mind that you can look at the shortcuts by hovering over. You'll see it there. How it's all done. Today's task is to get this drill so that it's chewing up vast amounts of stone. Here, I just want to look at what that is. Piston drill reverse. Piston vertical 1 reverse. Remember that piston vertical 1 is this one here. Good job. Okay. Hydrogen. And now we can bring the drill down further. Even more stone. This is why I tend to build a drill rig like this. Going here in production. So we've stopped again. But that's alright. We can move the cobalt once more across here. All we need going. This. And then when we've let that drill get down as far as it's going to go, we can turn off the drill and set our drill rig back to how it should be. The next edition. Quick save. Remember, if you want a quick save and quick load, hold down both bumpers. Press X to save. Hold down both bumpers. Press Y to load. Now we should have enough. Start looking at expanding this drill rig so that we then have 5 drills all working together to chew through a vast quantity of stone. What we want to do with this as well is that we want to make it so that the drill itself on the drill piston excuse me, extends automatically. Now we can use sensors, or we can just drop down a timer block. What we're going to need to know on that is, what you need to do is you look at your drill piston and you'll see that its maximum distance is 10 meters. So you want to turn down the maximum distance to nothing. And when you've done that on your drill piston, you want to also look at your rotor. And we'll go into the control panel of this drill here. And we've got an advanced rotor, as you can see. We've only got one, so we don't need to rename it anything really. You could call it advanced rotor drill or drill rotor. It has shear inertia tensor on it. And what we want to do with that is we want to make sure that it has a velocity of about 1 rotation a minute. Got the rotor lock on at the moment, but we'll turn it off briefly. There it is, look. That's all good. So we've got 1 rotation per minute. Recharge our suit's hydrogen. We'll actually put the inventory, throw a hydrogen bottle in there, so we've got plenty of hydrogen. And now we want to put in 4 drills. We've already got those on the build planner, so we can go to our cargo container, hold down the right bumper, press the inventory button, and you'll draw some components out. You won't get them all at all, and you don't have enough inventory. We will get our drills going. Hold them up, or at least weld up as much as we can. Also, by doing it like this, you don't have to expend any suit hydrogen, and you can access your drill pistons and bring them up and down. You're saving precious ice. Bear in mind we are using the first level of tools. It's important that you have, whoops, forget the holes there. That's why we have a suit hide and a jetpack. It's important that you also remember to make sure you do have shear inertia tensor on, because Clang will definitely pay a visit with a rig like this, and the more drills you add, the more instability you can get. What we've got here so far is our drill rig. We just need now drop a on the block found under advanced systems, third one along, add it to your build planner, do what I always do, put it into production, pull all the parts out, and we're going to we'll put it by this over here on the block, and it's placed in the correct position. Weld it up. We're almost ready to start making use of this drill rig. Always get used to renaming things like this so you can find it easily if you have a bunch of things. And we want our delay on this to be about a minute. What we're going to do is going to use it to operate this piston here. This is why piston drill now has a maximum distance and 0. Because what we're going to do is every minute, if we open up our timer block again, go to our setup actions menu part, we're going to look along here until we find piston drill. I'm going to press A on it and tell it that basically every minute of operation we want to increase the maximum distance on this piston. So it'll go from 0 by 0.5 each time until it reaches its max at 10. And then we want to find this timer block and we want to tell it start. So once we start this timer block from a control, it will carry on pushing this piston down until it reaches maximum distance. That will keep on doing and trying to push it, but it can't go any further. Save that. So now what we want to do is we want to set up a separate page by holding down the left stick, tapping B. So I want to pop our advanced router, and I just want to turn the block on off, turn the rotor lock off as well, but that's easy enough to do. Just go into your control panel, find the advanced rotor, and then turn off rotor lock. There we go. I've got a rotating drill bit. Now all we need to do is group up our drills. Again, bring up your control panel and you'll handily see that all the drills are on a subgrid, so they stand out a different colour. So press A on the first drill, hold down the right bumper, press A on the second, third, fourth and fifth, just using the D-pad to move down. Push the left stick twice, or basically navigate to block group using the left stick, don't use the D-pad. And just call them drills. Save your group, and now you have a drill group, which means we can then go to this downward direction here, find our groups, there they are, look. Press A and toggle the block on off. There you go, there's all the drills. They will start drilling as well because they're low to the ground, but that's fine. We wanted that. I'm off. We're almost ready to start. Quick save, push left on the D-pad, and you want all blocks, and you want timer block drill, start, push right on the D-pad, all blocks, timer block drill, stop, and then if it's all working properly, we should be able to now turn on our drills. But let's just look, make sure that the piston, shear inertia tensor, yep, all on. Our rotor has that on as well. So now we can turn on our rotor, turn on our drills, push left on the D-pad, and you'll see in the background there the timer block flashing just under the, if I can get the angle right, just over the top of the drill arm. The timer block is now counting down. When that block reaches, great, good angle, it's allotted time, 50 seconds. You will. Notice. Hopefully the drill rig should do its job. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And didn't do anything. This is what Space Engineers are all about. Troubleshooting. And why did it not do a thing? What have I done wrong? Have a look. Right, the piston drill. Increase maximum distance. Set to 0 meters. Do you know why? Well, the reason is I didn't change the piston's orientation. I didn't alter this. The velocity is set to -1. If I set it to 1 by hitting reverse, you'll see that the piston will move down. To decide if I did that on purpose or whether or not I forgot. The nature of Space Engineers is all about troubleshooting if something goes wrong. So remember, what you have to do on your piston with this is to make sure your velocity is not in a minus, it's at a plus. You can do that by changing the reverse setting. Now see the maximum distance of the piston is 1 meter. In another minute, or just under a minute now, another countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We should have liftoff in a moment. There it goes. This will quite happily go ahead and do its own thing. And what we can do as well is, once it's reached its maximum distance, we could put another command that slowly lowers this piston by 0.5 every 60 seconds on another timer block, or that timer block, if you want to bring that one down. I'd suggest a second timer block so that you can move the horizontal piston and dig a nice trench away from the base. Won't see the stone coming in because it will process that quickly. Also, you won't get much of it until the drill cuts down through this grassy layer. But that is an expanded drill system running off a single timer block with some troubleshooting tips as well at the same time. That will enable us to get far more materials, far more resources. And since we're on Earth, like, one of the things I wanted to do is I want to protect this particular base against lightning. Now that's possible. But what we need is one of these. We need a decoy. And to build one, oddly enough, we have to go to Wheels and Weapons and put a Gatling turret into production. We should have the necessary components to be able to build this quite quickly. There we go. Now we're going to just build this, but there are no enemies, so we don't need a Gatling turret. But we do need it to satisfy the unlock conditions for our decoy. We don't need to complete it. So what we can do is we can just put that down. So, there we go. So our cargo container there. Open that back up and we will just throw all this bins here. We want to build a lightning tower. Now this is going to be a standalone because I want lightning drawn away from the base. I don't want any particular splash. So what I want, thinking about it, trying to think what I need to do now. Build it. It's been a while since I built one of these. I need some plating actually first and foremost. I want to build a block to act as a former platform to place this down on. I think I'm going to pop it there. So now I'm going to need a couple of things. I'm going to need a battery. Which batteries? The battery to build queue. I want another wind turbine as well. Think about it. We've got all wind turbines there, but I want a self-powered lightning rod. Got all those parts in production. To add the battery back into my build planner, and I should be able to pull both of these out. Another pair of them in as well, because you never know when you want more. You need the battery in, I think, here. The idea is to basically build a functional device that attracts lightning to it. But not only does it attract lightning to it, it also self-repairs. Now, we're going to need a cargo container. Now, I could make some metal grids, Or I can just literally grind down these. I no longer need. Get some more resources. And we're going to pop a cargo container into our build queue. Throw all these components into the cargo container. We're going to pop the cargo container here. And this will give us our cargo container. Then, if you remember, we're going to need that wind turbine, so I'm going to need to pick up my parts again. But that's all right. On the build planner, and just pull out the things you need for it. Using the right bumper and the inventory button, and we're going to slap that particular right, position it in the right place. At the back of this cargo container here. We're going to start self-powering this device. We're getting there. Next thing we want is a welder. Put that into production. Really quickly. There you go, there's your welder. So now we want to pop our welder up here like this. And that will be connected to our system. Almost ready. We'll need a decoy. And we're going to need some other things as well. For a start, I want to put 300 steel plates into production. And I also want to get that decoy now be unlocked under comms and hangars. Decoy is unlocked. We'll pop that into production as well. And while we're doing that, I want to also look at stairs. Yep, I want stairs. Later on, I have to think about what to do with stairs. Don't worry about that for now. We're going to go for, let's see, can we get rid of the plating? Steel catwalks would do it. Grated catwalk. We're going to pop down an interior wall. Actually, we're going to open up some cosmetic options while we're at it. We need construction computers and interior plates for that. Let's remove that And now let's pull. We need out for that. Then let's go to our cosmetic side of things. Interior wall on. And just bop it down anywhere you want. See why in a bit. And you don't have to fully build it. Just build enough of it that it unlocks new blocks. Break it down, or build it if you want to. Up to you. Now, there's the stairs that we wanted. Catwalks, I want those. Just going to fill the build cube with steel catwalks. Bit of a trick to this, it does sometimes take a little bit to do. That do its thing, I'll take a quick drink. I've left my drill rig just chugging away in the background, doing its own thing. We're almost there. And the reason that I wanted these steel plates, well, these catwalks, plate. They kind of look cool when it comes to doing that. And we want our almost. This is the trickier part of the whole thing. There we go. The best way to do this is wait till the plate itself is on the opposite side. Now we should be able to drop our little decoy in. And do that like that. We've got our cargo box there. We don't actually need our stairs, but that is our decoy in place. And you look at the welder. There you go. I hadn't quite finished the decoy, so the welder's done it for me. Slightly. Well, if you notice, that decoy is operational. The welder's operational because the red lights on top of the welder are red. Now all we need to do is ensure that our cargo container here has its materials. So if you remember, we queued up a few hundred steel plates. Okay, where they've gone. To open every inventory with the right stick. 132 steel plates there. probably used a bunch of steel plate. No, there you go. And so we'll withdraw another 200 there from assembly 2. And then we'll go over here. Because when lightning strikes, it's going to damage the decoy. And the decoy, if I can get it to do it, there you go, will self-repair from the steel plates. So lightning will be drawn to that decoy and nowhere else. And there you go. If you do want to finish it off, you can weld up all the sides and so on. And you can also, if you're so inclined, planner with Y. Just finish it aesthetically. It's really only for aesthetics, but you can up to there, so on. And you can stack that cargo box full of steel plates, and you won't have to worry about lightning in a 50-meter radius of your headquarters. And that's the drill rig. Happily sitting there doing its own thing. Grab more stone by manipulating the drill rig. But there you go, that's it. That's my next part of the survival guide, how to take your single drill, turn it into a rotating rig of 5 drills that you can manipulate and maneuver using the pistons to your heart's content. The timer block. And a bonus lightning defense tower. Stay tuned for the next one. There will be a mod showcase coming up. To give you a hint, look at my community tab and I will be linking the actual mod itself onto the community tab before I showcase it. And it's another one that should make ship builders and headquarters builders quite happy. Until then, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. Remember, this is the year of war. Bye for now.